Good evening. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Toya Singh. We are now in the second half of our show, and we're going to be shifting focus entirely from the day's events in New to focus on a political story, the future of the Delhi Ordinance Bill's passage and the larger political story around it. What does it mean for 2024? That's essentially what we're doing. We're using the Delhi Ordinance Bill's passage. We're going to see it and we're going to try to understand if its political journey can be used as a prism through which to see how alliances in particular will play out in the big 2024 elections. This is after Andhra Pradesh's TDP today announced it would support the bill. Remember, why that's big is also because its key opposition in the state has also supported the bill. YSRCP has supported the bill earlier. Odisha's BJD had also supported the bill. Now, with this, any hopes that the INDIA opposition had, where they had this thought that they would be able to, at least in Rajya Sabha, have a close vote, essentially that the numbers would at least be close. That's all been dashed now. Now, the opposition is seemingly still confident, but where does this actually leave them? Let's take a look first at what the brouhaha is actually about. What is this bill that has been extended support to, and who has it been extended support to by? As you can see on your screens, on one side you can see the governor, on the other side you can see the Chief Minister of Delhi. It's between them that this back and forth has continued. Now we're going to bring you more context on this. This adds several provisions to the GNCTD Act 1991, as you can see on the screen next to me. But we're going to take you in more depth because it gives control of all the bureaucrats in Delhi to the LG. What experts have said essentially is that by doing this, it takes away control from the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, what happens is that the services authorities and all the decisions that are made by the Chief Minister will now go to the LG, as we said a little while earlier. Now we're going to bring you more context. The authority will also decide on transfer appointments, as we told you a little while earlier. We're also going to bring you context on the political parties that have made these decisions. But the authority recommends that the LG will be taking the final call. That's the decision that this bill will allow for if it does get passed. Now, we're going to bring you more context in just a second. Let's take a look at the difference between the Delhi Ordinance and the GNCTD Amendment Bill, that is the Delhi Services Bill. A, that no power will be given to the Assembly. This is obviously the Assembly in which the Aam Aadmi Party has a majority. With this change, no power will be given to them on the laws for services. Number two, the orders of ministers over proposals placed before the LG and the CM, that is what's going to matter. Number three, the annual tabling of the Civil Service Authority report, that's going to be taken away. Also, the appointments by the LG will be based on a panel. That's the suggestion that's been given. The LG's suggestion essentially is what will drive all of these changes. And the appointment of members to boards and commissions, that's a power that has been diluted. That's the big question we're taking a look at today. The BJD, YSRCP, their support to this bill. What does it mean for the Aam Aadmi Party and for the greater INDIE? Is the tone set for 2024? This is a political story, and to take a deeper dive into it, we have our guests. Let's take a look at the list. All right, we have with us Akshay Maratha. He's an Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. We also have RP Singh. He's a BJP spokesperson. Both of them are here with us this evening to bring us more context. Akshay, I'm going to start with you. Thank you for joining us on the show. Akshay, I want to understand from you, from the beginning, when it comes to the number picture, if you are even to put politics aside and just look at the mathematics, the chances for the Aam Aadmi Party, even if they did get the support, as we saw your Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal doing tirelessly, but even if they did get that support, the numbers, it was a very, very slim chance that the numbers would actually be in their advantage. Now, Akshay, some experts say that the Aam Aadmi Party already knew this, that they undertook that campaign where you had Arvind Kejriwal meeting different chief ministers just to curry political favor for them. Akshay, what should our audiences make of this? Did the Aam Aadmi Party really not think that they would get the numbers at all? Give us some context as to what was happening behind the scenes.
Toya, first of all, let's understand what this entire debate is about. You know, when children are playing cricket and a star bowler like Arvind Kejriwal gets the BJP, who's a bully, out multiple times, 3 times in this case, The bully that is the BJP decides that the bat belongs to them and they're going to leave the pitch and say, "Hum ab aur nahi khilenge." That is what the BJP is doing today, because time after time, the people of Delhi have voted in the Aam Aadmi Party government to fulfill the promises that were made to them, whether it's on electricity, water, education, healthcare. Now the BJP has said that no matter what the cabinet led by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal decides, it is the lieutenant governor appointed by the BJP who will make all the decisions related to Delhi. It is the officers of Delhi, the unelected bureaucracy of Delhi, who will tell the ministers what to do and what not to do. We have formed a nation state in India on the basis of a democratic principle that if the people vote for a government, then it is that government which will have the power to implement the agenda that they were voted on. In Delhi, what's happening is a dark day for democracy. It is an assault on our federal structure. The federal structure is not some, a fancy word that the opposition is using today. It is the rights of the people of Delhi. Today, what the YSRCP and the BJD are doing is very unfortunate because they are also members of a state government. What is to stop the Bharatiya Janata Party from tomorrow doing the exact same thing that they have done to Delhi, to Telangana and Odisha, where these two parties are currently in power?
One second. I'm not at all debating with you. One second. I'm not at all trying to debate with you what the bill's contents were and whether or not they are good for the citizens of Delhi, primarily because that is a debate and a discussion we've had several times since this was first announced. What I'm trying to understand from you is how the party looks at this politically. I'm trying to understand when parties like the YSRCP or the TDP are coming out and making these declarations, is your party disappointed or did your party expect this? That's what I'm trying to understand.
We are very disappointed that two state parties who are in power in state governments are failing to realize the danger of what the BJP is doing. It is unfortunate for the people of Odisha and the people of Telangana as well, because tomorrow even their rights will be taken away by the Bharatiya Janata Party. In the Rajya Sabha, as things stand today, there is a block of India parties which the Aam Aadmi Party has convinced to vote against the bill today. And the BJP is supported by its NDA allies. But as things stand, the numbers are tied. We do expect to get into a close fight, and we are hoping that the people who have been sent to the Rajya Sabha will do the right thing, will vote in favor of democracy and not in favor of authoritarian dictatorship that the BJP is today espousing.
Okay. All right. Akshay, thank you for answering the question I was asking, particularly there. I'm going to go over now to RP Singh from the BJP. Mr. Singh, I'm not going to ask you a specific question. I'm just going to ask you to respond to what it is that Akshay said. Then we'll come to you with further questions.
Well, in my political career, I've never seen such anarchism. I mean, the party who believes in anarchism, the government which deals or methodology is anarchist. I'll give you two examples and you'll understand with that. Midnight at 12 o'clock, the chief secretary is called at the home of the chief minister and is trashed by his colleagues or friends, whoever are there at chief minister's house, and he files a complaint on this account. And if this is the state of the affair, you can understand. Okay, 2 o'clock at night.
One second.
Sir, allow me to.
No, Mr. Singh, I do need to cut you off because I want us to stay with the issue at hand in particular, because what I'm trying to ask you here, sir, 1 second, is when the bill itself was first discussed, we know initially after all of the events happened in Delhi, you had the Supreme Court coming out with a judgment on this, and many experts looked at this. 1 second, sir. Many experts looked at this bill as one that was transferring the power. This is an expert consensus. I'm not talking about a political consensus. Expert consensus here was that this was a bill that was transferring power from an elected official to two people who'd been put in place, or administrators who'd been put in place by the BJP. This is a criticism that came in across op-eds in the country. So how does the BJP respond to that, and what does the BJP see as the political future of the bill?
Well, again, give me another 5 seconds.
Go ahead, sir.
2 o'clock. Yeah, midnight, 2 o'clock, the office of the Chief Vigilance Officer of City is ransacked. The papers are, files are removed, or we don't know what happened within the office, but midnight at 2 o'clock. So you can understand what is going on in city. I give you two examples. But issue is, in the court order also, page 65, para 95, page 66, para 95 categorically states that central government can make changes and everyone will have to abide by those changes. This mentioned in the, and then that's how the central government brought an ordinance and now a bill, because it's not matter of powers. Because the ultimate powers will be the chief minister only, with two other people, chief secretary of the city and the home secretary, who will sit with him, and whatever consensus they built on, that will be implemented. But in case of there is no consensus, then only LG will intervene. Not that LG has got all the powers. It will be good. He will learn, the anarchist chief minister will learn how to build up consensus with the people around him, or with the people from whom he has to take work.
Okay.
So that's the objective. And give me another second.
Can I respond?
Mr. Singh, we are on our last minute, so I do need to go back to the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Akshay, I actually want to ask you a different question altogether. Tell me, your chief minister went and met with the TDP leader, Chandrababu Naidu, very publicly. We knew that was one of the many leaders he met as part of efforts to curry the favor behind this. I just want to understand, what is the Aam Aadmi Party's approach going to be towards parties that they tried to build bridges with in the last few months over this issue?
Toya, look, we did what we could have done. Our job was to convince all the parties who have members in the Rajya Sabha to vote against this bill, and we did our best. We explained why it is against the constitution. We explained why it is against federalism. We explained how the same thing could happen to all states in India if it is being allowed to be done for Delhi. So even after that, if there are parties who are continuing to side with the Bharatiya Janata Party, then it is the people of India who will give them a befitting response. Even their states will go into elections. The people of their states will ask them, why are you siding with a dictatorial Bharatiya Janata Party when the issue is about states' rights? Do states not have a right to vote for their own government? Does TDP, YSR, CP, BJD, do those states not have a right to govern their own states when the people have elected them to power?
But how does your party see the fact that in a state like Andhra Pradesh, where you have both the party in power and the opposition voting to support the BJP, how do they see something like that?
Again, like I said, it is very unfortunate that these parties do not see the danger to our democracy. And it is the people of those states who will give them a befitting reply and will show them that when it comes to democracy and the rights of people, you have to stand with what is right and go against sometimes your political choices and your political...
Akshay and Arpi Singh, sir, thank you for joining us here on the show. We heard from the Aam Aadmi Party, we heard from the BJP. That brings to an end our second discussion. Thank you for staying with us over the last 1 hour. This was Plain Speak on CNN News 18.